Follow me all the days and nights that we know will. Hey, hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. And I am gray and silver again. I don't get it. I'm trying so hard. How's everyone doing? Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Venus in retrograde, and I decided to get out of the cafe and get out into the trail, even though right now they are closed off. I have special permission by the cyber world to sit here in my office chair. Come say hello to me. How's everyone doing today? And I'll even type that in the little box. Sometimes I don't see people until I actually type something. Hiya. Come say hello to me. So if you're new to me or you're catching me in a replay, you've never seen me, you've never seen me before, turned silver or invisible, I am a ghost. That's how I feel these days. I am a ghost. Then you don't know that I say that the planets in astrology don't make you do anything. That in astrology, and I got to just do that just to change up the silver business, the ghosting. I'm a ghost. That in astrology, when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that by way of aspects and angles in astrology. And astrology basically tells you what time it is. So what time is it? Hello, it is now. That's the only time there is. And let me tell you, it's been challenging for so many people. Yes, indeed. I know many people are thriving. They're making adjustments to the whole new stay-at-home schedule. And in the meantime, they're also dealing with being at home. You know, we spoke with our nephew who works for Amazon, and he said, let me just clear up the whole toilet paper thing. Okay? You heard it here first, folks. That typically the average person who goes to work would be using the bulk toilet paper that their company would order on pallets. And the shortage now of TP comes from the fact that people are now at home. So instead of using the loo at the office, they're doing their business at home. And so people don't order toilet paper by the pallet. So it kind of ran out. Now the manufacturing is continuing and people are going to get what they need eventually. So there it is. That's the why of toilet paper. Hey, come say hello. Today is a rainy day here in Sedona and I love it. But I tell you, I was up till 1 o'clock last night, could not sleep. Yep, waves of roiling emotions and then lethargy and then what the hell is going on. And, everybody looks at me, they think, oh, you got it covered. You got it together. And a lot of times I do. Or if I don't, I put to what I know to use. Like last night, I did 3 meditations in a row because I was starting to feel apathetic. Yeah, me, apathetic. And it's disheartening. And it's kind of shocking, too, because, I'm going along, doing my thing, and then suddenly it's like, what's the point, right? And I know you can relate. What's the point? Well, the point is that you have something in you called spirit, and that spirit has the ability to move energy, but it needs your help, and that is a focus. And so as we talk about the Venus in retrograde today, I want you to think about what you would like to focus on as I show you the calculations that I made. And first of all, when Venus, the planet that represents, remember the planet's not doing it to you, but the planet that represents beauty, art, love, finances, protection, as in wherever Venus is in your chart, that's where you have the most protection. Now, if you happen to have a Venus retrograde in your chart, because you were born in a Venus retrograde, then what you have is feelings of self-worth regarded to that house and the sign that Venus is in. And so it is your lot in life to learn how to overcome that. I know someone who has Venus retrograde in the second house of finances. And so their whole life has been focused on making money, but not just money, making money in areas that make them feel worthy. So, okay, it's not a negative or a positive to have a Venus retrograde in your chart, nor is it a negative or a positive to encounter Venus retrograde, as we will, May 15th-ish. Well, the prephase has already begun. Pardon me, it's something in my eye. Prephase has already begun, and it'll go all the way through June. And then, but it couples with the Mercury in retrograde in June through July. So this combination of elements in the universe are reflecting your need to deal with something. Now, when Venus goes retrograde, here's something fascinating. This is a calculable, mathematical phenomenon that Venus goes retrograde. Let me just make this a little bigger. Wait a minute. How do I get there? No, that's not it. There it is. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see. Ooh, and it's coming up right behind me. I don't know how that managed, but I seem to have done something. I did something correct. Okay, in the tech world. When Venus and the Sun conjunct one another within 8 degrees, or exact conjunction, the same degree, as Venus pulls away and works its magic through the universe, through different constellations, as it goes onto the ecliptical plane and it moves around the Sun, eventually it comes in close enough to be in conjunction with the Sun, and then it moves out again, right? So it does that 5 times in 8 years. And during that time, it repeats the cycle. So, okay, isn't that cool so far? Stay with me. And when it repeats the cycle, it will be the closest to the Sun and the Earth at the same time. Right now, Venus is the closest to the Earth. If you looked in the sky at night, you'd see a very bright light, and that would be Venus. But anyway, so what happens then is, and I'll show you my notes that I calculated for many people, when Venus goes retrograde, it hits the same 5 places. This person is a Scorpio rising sign. And when Venus goes retrograde, it hits the same 5 places in this person's chart. Now, depending on degree, it can go inside or outside of a house on the cusp of. But what's fascinating is that each time it does, and it doesn't portend anything negative or necessarily positive, it just depends on what you are doing. Astrology in a chart will show you the theme and the timing of things. But without a person's individual karmic soul imprint on the chart, it means nothing. It's just research data. So when I looked at this chart for this particular client of mine with a Scorpio rising sign, they had Venus is coming up in retrograde in Gemini, coming up in May through June. And for them, that deals with their 8th house. And so in the 8th house, this is going to be all about money for them, money with others, their investments, what they do, their spousal income, and or ex-spouse in their case, and making sure that that is smoothed over. So their individual information will color the results of this particular Venus in retrograde. Does that make sense? Come say hello. If you're just joining me, we're talking about Venus in retrograde and also moving energy, because you do have the power to do this. Now, folks, we are light beings in a very dense world, and sometimes it takes all of our might just to get through a situation, an issue, or a feeling, an emotion. And right now there's a lot of extremes happening. And when, the way I see it, when Venus comes into retrograde motion, what happens a lot of times is, and if you are a Libra or a Taurus, Sun, rising moon, or have Venus in Libra or Taurus, you will feel this the most because your timing is such to let something go, to find out where you are disempowered, to find out where, and I'm a Taurus, so I started feeling it already. So the pre-phase is now. We're in the pre-phase here in April. And happy holidays to many of you, whatever you celebrate. Aviva, spring, rebirth, Easter, The Catholic Easter just happened. Orthodox Easter will be happening next week, and Passover as well. And just the light of growth. Buy some plants. Dig your hands in the dirt. Okay. Does this make sense? Come say hello to me if you're listening to this in a replay. I am talking about Venus in retrograde. And remember, the planets don't make anything happen to you. They reflect like a lab report, like data. You look at the data and you go, oh, I see what's happening. It's about you. It's about your choices. It's about your empowerment. Okay? I'm just going to take a sip of the cosmos here, or the red earth. Now, I surround myself with as much positivity as I can. But as I said earlier, sometimes, life just gets to you. You get tired. You get sideswiped, cut off at the knees, pushed off a cliff for whatever reason. There's that feeling of disempowerment. We all go there. But some people actually stay there. And this is a really great time to look at your self-expression, to look at your self-worth, your income, as Venus is moving into Gemini in retrograde. And I've got a chart, actually. I could show you the previous dates so you can go back into your calendars and look. Now, I'm offering a really special, fantastic deal, and I'm going to sweeten it for you. The Venus in retrograde reading that I'm offering is an hour. And during that time, we're going to look at, it takes about an hour to actually calculate your 5-pointed star to see where Venus is moving throughout your lifetime in the same exact places, and what you are ready to discover about yourself, where you're ready to go with something, how you're ready to let something go, how you're ready to assume the power. Now, it can mean so many different things for so many different people. And actually, let me get that link for you. To book. And what I'm going to add to this particular reading is the Mercury in retrograde and the upcoming June eclipse. Yes. So hang on to your bootstraps. It's going to be quite a potent combination reading. Here is the link. So come get your Venus and Mercury retrograde plus the eclipse reading. Okay? So when you click on the link, it will only say Venus, but I'm adding now the Mercury in retrograde to it and the first eclipse that we're having, because I want to see you grow. I want to see you get beyond this feeling, of disempowerment as I turn silver once again. I really am just a ghost. I used to tell people I'm just a tourist. I'm a Taurus. Okay, so let me show you those Venus dates. And here they are. Ba-ba-da-ba. Oops. There it is. Okay. I'll also make this a little bit bigger so you can see. In the past, this is where Venus has been retrograde. And just keep multiplying wherever those places in your wherever those places in your chart have been, they will be in the future. They just keep repeating themselves over and over and over again. Hi, Christy from Utah. Utah's so beautiful. It felt like I was on the moon there. I went there with some friends, my family and some friends. We rented a house one Thanksgiving. And we hiked in Bryce Canyon, and I literally felt like I was on another planet. And then I saw a herd of buffalo. It's like, wow. People wonder where they went. That's where they are. Okay, so back to Venus in retrograde. When you look at these dates, I want you to, and if you're familiar with your chart, I want you to be aware of the times you felt disempowered or empowered regarding romance. Okay? Venus is all about the sisterhood, the womanhood, the feminine energy. And sometimes people discover that they are bisexual or gay or transgender in a Venus retrograde, or they take steps to further that. self-expression. It's also dealing with your income and self-worth, finances across the board, investments with others, your spousal income, healing, and relationship to women. So I want you to take a look at these dates, wrong way, take a look at these dates and then go back in your calendars and then say, oh, okay, I get it. The last time in 2012, when Venus was retrograde in Gemini, this was what I was experiencing with my own feminine self, with women in general, with my self-image, beauty, romance, finances, relationship to women, creative expression. That can mean cooking, gardening. That can mean a financial portfolio that is quite diverse and very creative. You know, we're looking at the long term now in finances. So now is not the time to panic, but to look at what else can I do? Let me hold fast to what I have. People, you know, it's like a run on the bank and It's a Wonderful Life. No need for the run on the bank. Okay? It's like George Bailey, bail us out. He uses his last $2. You know, it's like, hey, there's no need to panic. There is a situation in this world, let me just get rid of this, where we're going to be looking at what do we do with our power? Are we giving our power away, or have we been giving our power away to the government? And I'm not talking, this is not a political forum. I'm not talking about, oh, you know, the Democrats are the reason for this virus. Okay, let's just stop the polarity. Let's take onus and say, what would you like to do now in a healthy, clear, calm, compassionate way that can help yourself up your vibe, start healing those things inside your mind and body and spirit that have been lacking lately, and stop the pointing and the blaming and do something. Do something. Now, first, that means, what are you going to do about your self-worth, your self-image? You're going to eat better. Eat better. Drink water, work out. You got to take care of the biology, folks. If you have Venus retrograde in your 6th house, that's where the arrow is going to point. That's where the meter goes. Or in the 8th or 12th house. In the 1st house, it's, who do I believe myself to be? How do I want to project myself? How do I want to be seen? And if there are women in your life that are not supporting you, you need to have the conversation first with yourself, not so much with them, but with yourself. It's, why do I feel the need for this person in my life? How do I feel after I've had a conversation or I think about this person? Do I feel empowered or disempowered? That's all you got to know. Right? And then you start doing journaling, you start writing about, well, they're in my life because, you know, it's my sister-in-law, it's my sister, it's my mother, it's my daughter, it's my cousin, it's a coworker, it's my doctor, you know, it's my chiropractor, whatever, whoever they are to you, why you are the magnet for everything in your life. Why are they there? And if you feel empowered, great. And if it's a man who's softer in nature, who has more empathy, or maybe is gay or bisexual, and maybe you say, I really love, you know, I love talking to this guy, or they, you know, whatever their pronouns, they help me so much. I don't know what it is about them. Then you're being given a clue. Your intuition is telling you, okay, that's in the stay pile. Now, in the about to leave pile, or the questionable pile, is going to be this person, that person, this thing. But it's all about you. They're there because of you. Now, okay, you can't say goodbye to your family in certain sense. Some people need to because they're very toxic. But if you just have like a, you know, a cousin or a sister, or, you know, your grandmother, just like, remember to wear a sweater when it's cold. All right, grandma. You know, okay, fine. They may annoy you, but that's not what I'm talking about, right? You get what I'm talking about. Let me check in. There's people. Hey, Laura Lee. Hi, Sage. Northern California. We've got Canada, Utah. Who else is here? Come say hello. You know, I've got to find that list where I had tons of places. There are places I remember. Is this it? No, that's not it. Okay. Anyway, hey, how's everybody doing? Oh, Sasha says, finally caught you live. So sad I missed the open forum, but I'm here. I'm so happy you're here. Libra, Scorpio rising, Capricorn moon. Ah, Venus. Okay, I'm going to pull a little card for everyone. Come say hello to me if this is a replay for you. Hashtag replay. We're talking about Venus in retrograde. If you're just joining us, remember the planets don't do anything to you. And if you can find a way to be in service, not at the sake of yourself, but be in service to at least one other person during this time right now, it gets you out of a self-spinning funk where, you just can't seem to move that vibe. Go be of service. This is why we are here, first and foremost, not at the sake of ourselves. We are all on this planet to serve one another and to bring energy up. Sasha, Virgo and Venus. Well, Virgo and Venus, with a Venus retrograde, is really letting go of the criticism. So when I talk about in my Venus five-pointed star, also called the flower, the petal, reading, I will be including the eclipse, the first eclipse, and also the Mercury in retrograde. And so the hour-long reading, don't tell anybody, but I usually go over a few minutes. The hour-long plus reading is there for you to really understand your cycles. And not to make a pun for you gals, but, it's all cyclical. And if you are able to pinpoint, oh, I get it. I attract a certain type of person to me because I have a need for fill in the blank. And it may be an unconscious thing, and I'm there to point it out. So if you need to end that cycle, so when you look at the five-pointed star, once again, you can say, I've been through it. Wait a minute. I seem to go through it every couple of years. What's that about? Venus will be in a retrograde and then come back into a retrograde approximately 18-ish months. So when you look at 8-year span, you're looking at the same thing over and over and over again. What is it that you'd like to change? Hi, Vicky. Venus in Aquarius, a Libra rising. So Vicky has a Libra rising, and all you Libra risings, Taurus sun rising moon, Libra sun rising moon, Venus in Libra, Venus in Taurus, are going to really feel this the most because it's about the reckoning of your empowerment. Now, everyone's going to be facing these topics: romance, self-expression, finances, creativity, protection, and defense. Sometimes more women sign up for the military during a Venus in retrograde. Sometimes more women in the military are like, yeah, I'm done with this stuff, this disempowerment because of gender. Some people are given opportunities in a Venus retrograde. I actually went bestseller on my first fiction book in my Sign of the Time series dedicated to Aries. And it was pretty amazing because I was out to brunch with my family, and it was an Amazon upload. And 16,000 people after 3 days had downloaded my book, and I didn't even know. I just read the email, and I was like, wait, what? Oh, and it was a Venus retrograde. So wonderful things can happen, but it depends on you and what your focus is. And that's what I want to help you do. Hang on. I should just get rid of that. I've been talking a lot lately, talking too much. All right, I'm going to pull a card for everyone. So I think it's important that when you... creak. My bones are creaking. I think it's important that when you start to focus on what empowers you, what disempowers you, you look at not what they are doing. Oh my God, I can't go out. There's a stay at home, or someone I know is in the hospital, or I have a cousin who lives in the heart of it in New York and said every 20 minutes there's an ambulance. It's getting on there. It's scaring them. Every 20, and they have a baby. Every 20 minutes there's an ambulance. And so when I look at the wave of what we're going to be experiencing, it's not just a virus. We always have viruses. We have diseases. We have illness. We have bacteria. That's life. That's biology. But with the focus and attention with media and cell phones and all the technology that we have, it's putting a hyper focus to make you hypersensitive about you. What empowers you? What disempowers you? That's the question, really, right? What is it? So let me pull a card for everyone right now, asking my angels, my starseed, light beings, light workers, to really help me help you. How's everyone doing? Say hello. Come say hello to me. These are nice little cards. They are by Oracle of Mystical Moments by Katrine Weltz Stein. It's a very lovely little deck. It's kind of wonky because of my green screen. And I've not really pulled all of these cards yet. So I don't even know a quarter of them. But for today, what to help us regarding empowerment and disempowerment. Remember, folks, the people that are in your life are there because of you. And you got to own it. And then you got to voice it. And sometimes people in a Venus in retrograde, and we're in the pre-phase right now, so we're feeling it. Sometimes you might feel absolute rejection, or or you are that catalyst for someone, where you just say, yeah, I don't know why I even hang out with this person anymore. She and I don't really, we don't vibe, or it's not for me. And then you just say, yeah, I'm good. Thanks. And sometimes we rely on other people, Taurus, Libra, Sun, Rising, Moon, or Venus in Taurus, or Venus in Libra. In fact, here's an example. I'm going gray at the roots again, and I'm tired of doing my own stuff after this, lockdown. And so I contacted my hair gal, and Lisa, and she used to be a traditional hairdresser, and then she got sick, and then she scrapped everything, had an opening, a healing, and then learned how to do henna, indigo, and madder root, all in combination for any color hair. Any color, even blonde. And she's in town. And I just texted her and I said, so I'm going to have to cancel my appointment, next week. But she goes, I have a solution. I've been making home packets for people, and I will drop them off at your door. I will stay 6 feet away. She's a Libra. And she said, just let me know when you want to do it. It has to be done same day. And, you know the instructions, and you just do it yourself. And I was like, thank you, lifesaver. Thank you, Miss Libran. So let me check in. Sasha says, it makes sense what I continue to attract. I feel like work and being of service is so empowering. However, it comes with a need for validation. Disempowering as heck. Yeah, I validate you. You know what? I don't have my card here. Yes, I do. Hold on. Oh, my teeth. Looks like I have braces on. Okay, this is for everyone. Venus, retrograde, or not. Okay? Yes? Awesome. You are awesome. Okay, now you got, check that validation off the list. I have to keep tapping that so I don't go gray. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, so let me pull a card. And in service, a friend of mine said, yesterday we ordered out for Easter dinner. And I said, oh, that's so wonderful. And she said, I got it from you about empowering the restaurants in the neighborhood and supporting our locals. So wherever possible, support the locals, whoever's open, whatever it is. You might say, I could do it myself at home. It's like, okay, well, but they're offering a special because they're just trying to stay in business. There's a Venus thing. We're going to see, the economy is like a big time yikes for a lot of people. Okay, here's the card that I pulled. This is a lovely card, and I've not pulled this one before. It is number 42, equals a 6, which is family and community, and it's called Change of Seasons. I don't know if you could see that. That is so pretty. Change of Seasons. Let's see what it has to offer us. Number 42. Oh, it's quite a long one. Transformation, life's up and downs and development. Okay, are we not? Thank you, energies. In the center of this card, hang on, let me just pick it up for you again. I don't know, can you see that? In the center of this card stands a woman surrounded by blowing leaves, flowers, and snowflakes. It's so pretty. As the wind blows them swirling up to her, she raises an arm in protection. Venus. Or welcome, Venus. I love this. We are not sure. The card reminds us that seasons change just as we do. Nothing is ever still, nor a river. Not even the mighty oak, and certainly not us. We are in constant state of transformation, even when we feel overwhelmed. Get it? Yes. If we can just quietly be, we will be moving in spite of ourselves. When life whirls around us, let the certainty of the cycle of seasons be a grounding force. Okay? That is such an appropriate card. Thank you, universe and angels. And, we're in spring, right? Down under is just entering autumn. And then we're going to be moving with this retrograde, Venus retrograde, and then Mercury in retrograde, we're going to be moving into summer. So with these changes of seasons, we're looking at what changes inside of us. Autumn vibes. Thank you, Elaine. You rock. Thank you. So do you. Okay, does that make sense? So I want you to consider this Venus 5-pointed star reading. And I am now including the Mercury in retrograde reading and the first eclipse. Okay, because I want to see you really transform. I want to see you make the difference in your own life by being self-empowered. And, we're all going through the ups and downs. As I said earlier, I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning last night, and I took my melatonin, I took my GABA, I had, chamomile, everything that I take just in case I have trouble sleeping. And, my heart was thumping and I'm just listening to the silence. And I'm cool with silence, really am. But in this silence, there was anxiety. There was apathy. There was what if? Why not? How come? What now? And so I, was here, and then I worked my way up to, hello, I'm here with fake braces and everything. Marsha. Okay, come on. Silver light of whatever. Silver light of protection. Venus. You share me with all your friends? Come on. Welcome. Excuse me. Pardon. All right. Well, let me just reassure you that as you become empowered, what you do is you raise your vibe, and then the whole community feels it. And pretty soon you're feeling the Sedona vibe. Okay? The Sedona vibe. So that's what I want you to think about. I will be back. Let's see, on Thursday, I believe. Yes. On the 16th, I'll be back. And we're going to be talking about more Venus and retrograde goodness and some other astrological things that we can talk about. Remember, if you're just catching up or watching this in a replay or seeing this on YouTube when we post it, you have the power to transform a moment. So even if you're down and feeling blue, feeling like, I don't know, you do what you can do in the moment, what's right in front of you. Make a healthy meal, work out, talk to a friend, offer your services, buy a meal from a takeout restaurant, or now everybody's doing takeout. Empower yourself a moment at a time. Sometimes a moment can last a day, a week, a lifetime. We want to see you get empowered. All right, folks, I will see you on Thursday. Please come back and be well. And come back and tell me some happy stories of what you did to transform. And we're going to talk more about Venus in retrograde. All right, my lovelies, be well.